Before we get into the video, I just want to say you can find all the awesome information that I'm using this video for here on PokeBeach. PokeBeach is a fantastic website that can give you not only like articles for the TCG, but it gives you like updates on leaks, future cards coming out, all kinds of stuff. Everything Pokemon. PokeBeach is a fantastic website and probably one of my favorites to check out whenever I'm looking for some Pokemon information. Yo, what's going on, guys? You're watching Epic Pokemon TCG. In today's video, guys, I have a set review for you for Unbroken Bonds. And I got told I really need to do this at the start of my video, even though I don't feel comfortable doing it. But I do have a Patreon and a GoFundMe, so if you guys want to go check those out, support me. They're down in the description below. It's definitely not mandatory. But anyway, without that, we're getting that plug out of the way here. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop right into this. So yeah, this is the new set, and I feel like this is going to be pretty impactful as far as the whole rotation thing goes. And we're going to go ahead and hop right into it here. Taking a look at Pheromosa and Buzzwole GX. There we go. So there it is. Boom. And what this card does, it has Jet Punch for 30 damage, and then this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is pretty much normal Jet Punch. And then Elegant Soul for 190 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon's Elegant Soul attack base is 60. And then Beast Game GX 50 if your opponent is active is knocked out by this attack. Take one extra prize card. If this Pokemon has at least 7 extra energy attached to it in addition to this attack's cost, take 3 prize cards instead of 1 extra. So pretty good, pretty cool card. Little neat. It's cool to get like a Jet Punch in a different type. Now the big issue with this card, though, however, it is weak to Fire, which is unfortunately going to be uh, pretty big going into this next set here. And then of course, if you guys look at my logo, it's half Caterpie, half Blaziken. Got to point out the fact that there is an absolutely adorable, and I mean adorable Caterpie in this set. Look at that little son of a gun. I'd hug a Caterpie if I could. Let's kind of go down here, see what all. I'm mostly gonna focus on the GXs and such. I'm not really like going to like every single card here, but there is two Venonat. I want to go ahead and point these out since there of course is a Venomoth GX is actually pretty good. So Venonat, Radar Eye. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Put one of them into your hand. It's pretty good. Has 60 HP, and then the other one is 60 HP and it has Psybeam for 10 damage. And your opponent's active is now confused. Oddly enough, these are both pretty good. This one is a little more on the consistent side. And now we're going to take a look at Venomoth GX. So Venomoth GX is a pretty cool card. Unfortunately, it is also weak to fire, which sucks because I actually think this card has some potential. But the attack name is pretty dope on this sucker. Secret of the Ninja. So it does 100 plus or 110 plus, and if you play Coco's Trap from your hand this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So that's going to be 200. Pretty good there. And if you play Janine from your hand during this turn, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon. Now, Venomoth, yes, it is weak to fire, but at the same time, it's actually pretty viable if you have a Janine and you're able to play it like like the right moment. And then Tenfold Retaliation GX60, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 10 cards. So yeah, this is actually a little better than Drampa GX's attack or GX attack. I can't remember what that thing's called because this one actually does damage, which is pretty good. I think it's called Big Wheel. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, this set's actually pretty cool. I like it. And then of course we have the big papa of the set, one of them anyway. Charizard Reshiram. So this card, yeah, this card right here. I'm not gonna make this video negative. But it has outrage for 30 because an outrage on a 270 HP Pokemon makes sense. But this attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, and then Flare Strike for 230. This Pokemon can't use Flare Strike during your next turn. And then Double Blaze GX 200 plus damage if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra fire energy attached to it. In addition to this attack cost, this attack does 100 more damage. Now it's pretty easy to set this up with the fire support. So yeah, honestly, this is honestly going to be a pretty big card going into the next set. Now, I've actually heard in Japan, and I saw some lists, that this Arcanine's actually seeing some love, which is pretty cool. Grand Flame for 120, attach 2 fire energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. That's a pretty solid attack, and again, it's very easy to get fire Pokemon set up in this with just a support in this set. And then Heat Tackle does 190, and then this Pokemon does 50 to itself. It's not the best card, but it's actually pretty solid, and you can get it set up pretty quickly. And then we have where are you at? I know you're down here. There we go. Salazzle, this is actually a pretty solid card as well because it has Roast Reveal. You can discard a Fire Energy card from your hand and draw 3. Just a little extra draw support for your deck. And then we have Blacephalon, Baby Blacephalon. This is one of the bigger decks in Japan. There we go. Really? I am trying to drag the picture over. So yeah, there it is right there. The Clown Sucker Ultra Beast thing. But he has Brazier. I think that's how you say that word. If not, I feel like an idiot. 10 damage. Flip over one of your face down prize cards. If that is a fire energy, this attack does 50 more damage. And then, of course, it remains face up for the rest of the game. And then Fireball Circus 50 times. Discard any number of fire energy from your hand. This attack does 50 damage for each card discarded in this way. And there, of course, is easy ways to get fire energy into your hand, which is pretty good. Now, next up, we actually have some pretty awesome Blastoise stuff here to show you. And really, I think this card would actually work pretty well with the Blastoise from the theme deck, the one from the last set, Team Up. But there is Blastoise GX. I like the art on this. It actually looks pretty cool. Pretty dope. But it has Solid Shell. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And then Rocket Splash for 2 water energy 60 times. Shuffle any amount of water energy attached to your Pokemon into your deck. This attack does 60 damage for each card you shuffled in this way. And the Blastoise from the last set allows you to look at the top 6, I think. It just lets you look at the top cards. I can't remember the exact number. And you could grab any water energy you find there and attach them to your Pokemon. So that just kind of increases the damage. It makes it a little more consistent. And it grabs some cards out of your deck to kind of thin it out, which is pretty good. And then Big Geyser, attach as many water energy as you like from your hand to your Pokemon any way you like, which is really good. It's kind of like a one-time I can't remember the deluge. Is that it? Deluge? I don't know. So yeah, Blastoise GX, I really think this card is awesome, and it has great synergy with the older one, which is really awesome. Let's see. Trying to think if there's any other cards down here. Dugong is pretty cool. There's Dugong right there. It has Tail Whap for 60 damage, and in Dual Blizzard, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty good there. And I think this card was actually getting played alongside Zoroark in Japan to kind of counteract the GX Pokemon, or not the Fire Pokemon. Excuse me. Uh, there is Dedenne. Here is pretty much like the kind of like the new Shaman for the most part. So there's that. I like the picture on it. Dedenne Chain or DD Chain. Wow, I just messed that up. I can't read. But when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards, which is actually pretty good. Not too bad. It allows you to get just get some stuff out of your hand and then draw a fresh hand of 6. It has Static Shock for 50 and then Zappy Return GX 50 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Return this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your hand. So you get to use it again pretty much. You can just kind of soften up your opponent's Pokemon, leave it in the active spot, pick this up, and then you can do it again next turn. Not too bad of a card. And then we have probably my favorite Tag Team GX art wise. It's just 2 mucks hanging out here chilling. They got like some stuff stuck in their bodies, it looks like. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's just Muck and a Alolan Muck. It's 2 mucks just causing mayhem. I love it. Bad Poison, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Put 6 damage counters on that Pokemon between turns. So you get a grand total of 6 between turns, which is really good. And I think there's actually a stadium that goes with poison Pokemon. And then Poison Lick, 120 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poison, you get to do 100, or you heal 100 damage. Excuse me. Good lord, I can't read. So yeah, you do 120. If they're poison, you heal 100. And then Sticky Mix GX, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and paralyzed. If this Pokemon has 4 or more energy attached to it, put 15 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon between turns for poison. So yeah, pretty good there. So I mean, honestly, the attacks altogether go with it pretty well, and you can play this with Malamar, which is really nice. I apologize, I got a little tongue-tied there reading that. I've been doing a lot of talking here lately. Let's see. This is actually pretty cool. I like the Crobat here. When you play this Pokemon for your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon on your turn, you may prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. It also has Severe Poison, but it's just like a little cheap way just to kind of prevent damage for that turn. And then the Gengar is actually pretty dope too. There it is right there. Whenever you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve a Pokemon, put 6 damage counters on your opponent's GX and EX in any way you like. So you evolve it and you get to play 6 damage counters, which is really cool. Kind of scrolling down. Hope you guys are having a good day, by the way. Here is Mewtwo. We always got to read the Mewtwo, right? I like that art. When you play this Pokemon for your hand onto your bench, you may choose a supporter card in your discard pile, show it to you, and put it on top of your deck. So that just means you get the supporter. It's kind of like a worse Pal Pad. I think Pal Pad's a little better, but it's kind of like a watered down one, but you still get the supporter back. It's not too bad. And then Psycho Shock for 70, and then it pretty much just does a solid 70, and it gets past effects. And you never know when that might come in handy. If your opponent has something on their active Pokemon that is like preventing damage or something like that, like Venomoth, for instance, you can kind of just get past it and attack, which is really cool. Mew just pretty much prevents bench damage, which is pretty cool. There's that Mew being absolutely adorable as usual. And then its attack, you just put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. But still, I mean, Bench Barrier, you never know when that might be cool, like later on down the road. Uh, let's see. I like this one right here. It's a little but it's still not bad. Once during your turn before you attack, you may knock this Pokemon knock this Pokemon out. If you do, God, I can't speak all of a sudden. If you do, draw cards from your deck until you have 7 cards in your hand. Now, honestly, I would probably rather play the Dene over this because you get to use it again if you use this GX attack, but you also don't have to give up like a prize for your opponent. It also has Hypnotic Wave for 70, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, so not too bad. Let's see. I saw this and I saw it had an ability, and I was like laughing really hard because if this had Let Loose, I was gonna die. But we have Marshadow and Machamp GX. These two are absolutely going in with the punches, it looks like. It has Revenge for 30 plus damage. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack during their last turn, this attack does 90 more damage. If this was worded a little differently to where it just says if one of your Pokemon was knocked out this turn or your last turn or your opponent's last turn, then Miss Magius would have a pretty dope synergy with this. But yeah, so basically, if you just lost one of your Pokemon, then you get to do 120, and then 100 impact, which I'm guessing is in punching 100 times, it does 160 damage, and then Extremity of Stalwart, I think is how you say that, 200 damage if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it in addition to this attack's cost. If this Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's next turn, it is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. So pretty much it just kind of hangs on. I know there's an attack that I'm having a brain fart thinking about it. Kind of scrolling down here. Also, if there's any cool cards that I might miss here, and I don't talk about it, then please let me know down in the comment section what cards you guys are excited for. Mostly, I just kind of focus on the GXs and other stuff and the trainers. But we have Greninja and Zoroark. I think this one's pretty much like a fan favorite. These are like two of the most popular Pokemon, I would say anyway. But there's the art on it. Looks pretty cool. It has Dark Pulse for 30 plus damage, and this attack does 30 more damage for each each dark energy attached to your Pokemon. So I did like 3 videos back to back to back, and now apparently I'm just struggling speaking. Night Unison GX, put 2 in any combination of Dark, GX, or EX Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, in addition to this attack's cost, attach 2 energy cards from your discard pile to each of those Pokemon. So, yeah, that's actually a pretty solid attack. You get 2 things set up, and I mean, the first attack's actually not too bad. I think you can easily get some energy on the board and do some decent damage with this card. I think it's awesome. And then we have Murkrow. I know Honchkrow is actually a really, really big card. I actually really like Honchkrow. Surprise, choose 1 card from your opponent's hand without looking and look at the card you choose, and your opponent shuffles that into their deck. So you never know, you might get lucky and hit something pretty big. There's Honchkrow right there, or Murkrow. And then Honchkrow has the ability Ruler of the Night. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any Pokemon tool, special energy, or stadium cards from their hand during their next turn. So that's pretty good. I like that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the art. I don't know. Honchkrow has just always been like one of those like cool Pokemon. I think it just looks cool with the little hat. And then Feather Storm, 90 damage. This attack does 30 to each or to 2 of your opponent's bench GX or EX. And then Unfair GX, your opponent reveals their hand, discard 2 cards from it. So, I mean, if your opponent is like sitting on some huge cards and you know it, like maybe they searched out some stuff, then you could just use this attack and really hinder them. And I think there's a tool, there's like a tool or something that goes along with it, so you can get this out pretty quickly. But honestly, really cool GX. I like it. It'll be annoying, but it's cool. And then here is a card that I feel like is getting released at a piss poor time because I think this card's really good. I think this card's good. That's just my opinion. But unfortunately, it's getting released when fire and stuff is going to be really big. But you never know, man. It might be good. Metal Fist, 50 damage. Search your deck for a metal energy card and attach it to this Pokemon and shuffle your deck. And then Heavy Impact for 150 damage. And then Full Metal Wall. Until the end of this game, your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attack after applying weakness or resistance, of course. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, in addition to this attack's cost, discard all energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. I think this card's good. I think it's cool. And you could play it with some other stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see, it's Lucarian Melmetal. I'm going to be real with you guys. I've never said this thing's name before. Never said it. We're going to scroll down here a little bit. And again, guys, if I miss anything, please do let me know. We have Gardevoir Sylveon right there. for you fairy Pokemon lovers. Fairy Song, search your deck for up to 2 fairy energy and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. And then I thought that said Kale Storm. I'm dyslexic, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that. Does 150 damage. Choose any number of energy attached to your Pokemon in play and rearrange them in any way you like. So you pretty much just get to attack and move your energy around. And then Miracle Magical for three colorless, Jesus, 3 fairy energy does 200 damage. If you have 3 extra fairy energy attached to this Pokemon in addition to this attack's energy cost, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck. Nice. Okay, I was making sure I read that right. If I misread anything, my bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm really curious what you guys think about this set. I think it's pretty good. We got Whimsicott right here. Pretty cool. I like its ability. Its ability is really neat. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, you can pretty much just flip a coin, and then if it's heads, you prevent the damage. So they attack you. You get a heads, nothing happens. And then Energy Blow for 10 plus damage. This does 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon. And then Toy Box GX, search your deck for up to 5 cards and put them in your hand. That's really good. That's actually a really cool little card. Let's see. Okay, so we actually have some pretty cool little cat action going here. So here is Meowth. It looks like he is snuggling up with a substitute. Cat Day, draw 2 cards. It's now asleep. And then Tail Wag for 30. And then the Persian. Here's that. Cat's Gathering. Each of your Pokemon play with Cat Day, you pay no energy to use their attacks, which is really cool. So you can use this for free. And then Claw Swipe does 90. And then we have Persian. Here's that. Once during your turn before we attack, if your Pokemon G or EX was knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack during their last turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them in your hand. So if something goes down, you can pretty much just evolve into Persian, get any 2 cards you want, and then there you go. And also Revenge, 10 plus damage. This deck does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile, up to a maximum of 9 Pokemon, but still that's a good amount of damage. And then Slashback GX, 150, switch this Pokemon with one of your bench. This card was actually getting played a lot with Zoroark, which was I saw in Japan. Unfortunately, though, that won't get played too much because the rotation is, of course, right around the corner. But this might be something I'll 100% try out because that deck seemed really awesome. I think the deck that I saw was Zoroark Dugong with Persian. So that was actually kind of neat looking. Let's see. All right, so we got still I don't know how to say this thing's name. What the dude? That's wicked looking. Okay, that I don't think I've seen a close-up picture of this thing. That is awesome looking, actually. Force Canceller, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, fit all effects of your opponent's GX attacks. Include damage done to each of your Pokemon. Wow, that's actually pretty good. And then Power Cyclone for 3 colorless energy, 110 damage movement energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. That's a pretty cool card. I like that. And then Discovery GX, count your prize cards and put them in your hand. Then take that many cards from top of your deck and put them face down as your prize cards. So if you know you got some like really horrible prizes, you know they just suck, then you can just swap out your prize cards. That's not bad. All right, so now we're getting to the trainers and all that. We have Beastbringer. So if you have exactly 6 prize cards remaining, and your opponent's GX or EX is knocked out by damage from attack of the Ultra Beast this card is attached to, take 1 more prize card. So if you do this with the GX attack on what was it, Buzzwole and Pheromosa, you can take some decent prize cards. Also, if you just knock out a Tag Team GX, you can take 4, I believe. So that's pretty good. Next up, we have oh yeah, here's the picture of it, by the way. That was my phone. I hope you didn't hear that. Here is the Crunching Ice Pick. Look at the top 3 cards of either player's deck and choose, or look at the top 3 cards of either player's deck and choose one of them. Okay, that player shuffles the other cards back into their deck. Then put that card on top of that deck. So that's pretty good. Then we have De-Evolution Spray. Choose one of your, or Z actually, De-Evolution Spray Z. Choose one of your evolved Pokemon. You may put as many evolution cards from that Pokemon as you like and shuffle them into your deck. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I bet you can do some crazy stuff with that. Then Duststone, here's the card with Honchkrow. If you have a Pokemon in play that involves the Mismagius, Honchkrow, Chandelure, or Aegislash, search your deck for a card that evolves from that Pokemon, including a Pokemon GX, and put that on that Pokemon to evolve it. Next up, we have Dust Island. Get that pulled up. There's that. Looks like a gigantic trash heap. Whenever a player switches their poison active Pokemon with the effect of a trainer card, their new active Pokemon is now poison. That's pretty good, especially with the Alolan Muck. And yeah, then it's got the normal like stadium stuff on it. And then we have electromagnetic radar. There's that. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 in any combination of electric GX or Pokemon EX and reveal them, put them in your hand. That's really good. That's going to help out electric decks big time because I honestly think that fire and electric decks are going to be like the big decks going into this next rotation. And then we have probably my favorite, my absolute favorite trainer in this entire set. Because, yeah, I don't know. I think fidget spinners are funny. Well, we have energetic fidget spinner. Energetic fidget spinner. That's so awesome. I should have pulled out my fidget spinner for this. Anyway, search your deck for a basic energy card, reveal it, put it in your hands. We pretty much have energy search back, which is really, really cool. We haven't had something like that since Professor's Letter rotated out, besides Lady, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really count that. I don't count that in the same category because it's not a trainer, obviously. However, if you go second on your first turn, you may set your or search your deck for up to 3 basic energy instead of 1. So if you go second, you open with this, you get 3 energy to your hand. That's pretty good. I feel like this actually might help out the fire decks too, just to have a little more energy searching in them. And then we have Fairy Charm ability. Here's that right here. Let's see. Prevent all damage done to the fairy Pokemon this card's attached to you by your opponent's GX and EX with abilities. So this could be pretty good. This could really hurt a lot of different decks. Then we had Fairy Charm, looks like electric. And then prevent all damage. Does. Okay, cool. So this pretty much kind of protects it from electric GX and EX. That's pretty good. I like that. So it just kind of gives Fairy Pokemon a little bit of a shield against certain stuff. Now we have one of the fire cards that's going to be really good. Fire Crystal, put 3 fire energy from your discard pile into your hand. Of course, Blaze Falon, I think you discard them, so this just gets them right back, which is really good. Next up, we have Giovanni's Exile. Choose up to you of your bench Pokemon with no damage counters on them, and you discard those Pokemon, all cards attached to them. I feel like this could be really good to get the Dene off your bench if you just don't see yourself using it again, or just something that you don't want dragged up or something like that. Because again, I don't know how the stuff's gonna go forward. Like as far as like what cards are gonna come out, because you never know, something that might be able to pull up a Pokemon off the bench might come out. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty good. You just pretty much just get the discard Pokemon, so maybe you have something just sitting on your bench that you don't need anymore. You can just kind of get rid of it. Next up, we have Green Search. Let's see. You can't play this card if you have Pokemon to play with abilities. Search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them in your hand. This is actually pretty good. If you're playing a deck that just flat does not have any abilities, you can just play this and you just get 2 trainers. Boom, you're good. Here's Janine. Here's one of the cards that has synergy, of course, with the Venomoth, and then the next one is Koga's Trap. There's that. Janine, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose 2 of them, and put them in your hand. That's actually really good. I feel like that might be something that could be tested out in certain decks after the rotation. And then Koga's Trap, your opponent's active Pokemon is now Poison and Confused, just to kind of get some special condition action going there. This could also work with the Muck that says, I think you have to have your opponent has to have an active Pokemon that's poison or something like that. Here is a really crazy supporter. I don't know. I would say this might be the best supporter in the set. I would say probably. You can only play this card if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. So immediately, this has synergy with Miss Magius. Okay, this immediately has synergy with Miss Magius because you can knock it out. I think you can Dust Stone it too, which is pretty good. Knock it out, get a fresh hand of 7, and then you get some extra supporter action. So that's pretty good. So yeah, let me just scroll back up here, guys. Let me make sure I told you some right info. Where you at? Where you at, you sexy Miss Maggie is? Okay, I passed it. I passed it. Hang on. We'll figure this out, guys. This is so ghetto, I swear. There it is. So yeah, once during your turn, you may knock out this Pokemon. If you do draw cards for deck, you have 7 cards in your hand. So you can play that with the... Crap, I went too far. Yeah. So you can play that with this, which is pretty good. It's right there, the Miss Magius. Yeah. So you can do that, and you get yourself some extra supporter action going with Lieutenant Surge's battle. So that's just something to note there. Next up, yeah, you may play up to 3 supporter cards this turn, including this one. So you get 2 more, excuse me. So Martial Arts Dojo. Pull up that picture. There's that. You attacks a Pokemon with basic fire. Fighting. Fighting. Oh yeah, that's right. Fire's R, I think. The attacks with basic fighting energy attached to them do 10 more damage. If there is a player with more prize cards remaining, the attacks of their Pokemon with basic fighting energy attached do 40 more damage. Okay, so this just kind of increases fighting Pokemon's damage. The wording was a little weird. Sorry, my dyslexia like really threw me off there. So yeah, there's that. Pretty cool. I apologize. For some reason, I thought F meant fire. I forgot R means fire. Metal Core Barrier. Here's that picture right here. If this card is attached to a Pokemon, discard this card into the opponent's turn. The Metal Pokemon this card is attached to takes 70 less damage from your opponent's attacks. That's really good. You can actually play this with the Lucario Metal something. I can't remember the thing's name. Jesus. Play that. What is your name? What is that? Mullane? Mullane? Okay. So this one right here, discard 2 metal energy cards from your hand. If you do, shuffle a trainer from your discard pile into your deck. I don't know if that's worth the supporter. I don't really like that too much. Pokegear 3. Here's that. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose one supporter card you find there, reveal it, and put it in your hand. This is really good. I like this. I actually might try to get my hands on some of those. Power Plant. Here's that picture. Each Pokemon, GX and EX in play, has no abilities. That's good. I like that. I gotta applaud Pokemon for releasing this. I like that. Red's Challenge, discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for 1 card and put it in your hand. Pretty cool. Red or Ash, whatever theory or whatever the heck you want to say. I know some people call him Ash. I don't know. I don't think that's right. But anyway, we have Professor Oak, Samson Oak. Draw 2 cards. If both active Pokemon are the same type, draw 2 more cards. That's really good in the mirror. I think there's better supporters, but it's good in the mirror. Next up, we have Secret Hood. It's got some like ninja-looking action going. Prevent all effects of your opponent's abilities done to this Pokemon this card's attached to. There is the surprise box. I like that. Choose a card from your opponent's discard pile and put it in their hand. So maybe they have something in there that you don't want. Ultra Forest Cartonvoy? What? Why can't you guys just come up with like some normal names? You know, like Ultra Forest Chad or something like that. You gotta have some weird stuff. During this turn, damage from the attacks of your Ultra Beast isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. That's really good. Alrighty. So I know I said Lieutenant Surge is the best supporter. Now this one I would say is up there with Lieutenant Surge. I would say easily this one's kind of up there. I said Lieutenant Surge is the best one because it can be played in anything really. This one has that like fire restriction, but this one by no means is like bad. I think they're actually both kind of up there together, and that is Welder. So here's that. Attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, draw 3 cards. And I think there's something called like Fiery Flint or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I think you search out energy. I can't remember. I might be wrong. I have to take a look at the card. But you also have the fidget spinner to grab energy from your deck. So yeah, you get to attach 2 energy and then attach a third one. So that's 3 energy on your Pokemon. And then you get to draw 3 cards. That's great. And here is triple acceleration energy. Basically, it just provides 3 colorless energy, and of course, you have to discard it at the end of turn it was attached. This is a lot like another energy that was out a long time ago. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, there's that. Now I'm just going to kind of show you the full arts. So there is Buzzwole Pheromosa. There is the Secret, I believe that's what that's called, or whatever it's called. There is full art Venomoth. And there is full art Charizard Reshiram. Full art Dedenne. I actually like the normal art a little better. Full art Muck and Alolan Muck. Again, I like the other art a little better. That one's pretty cool looking. I like that because they're both coming out of a sewer drain. And then here is Marshadow and Machamp. And then here is that. Okay, that one's pretty cool. I like that. That's cool. And then here is full art Zoroark and Greninja, or Greninja Zoroark. That's pretty cool looking. I like that art. And then here's Honchkrow. I like the other art. There's that. I don't know. I like that. That's weird. I like the other art for some reason. Here's this one for Gardevoir Sylveon. And here's that one. I feel like that's cute. Whimsicott. That's pretty cool. I like that full art. And then here's full art Persian. That one's kind of meh. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I definitely like the regular art compared to this one. And then here is full art Green Search, full art Janine, full art Koga. For some reason, his ass is like the focal point of the picture. There's that guy. I'm not even going to try to say your name. Full art Reg Challenge. That's a cool art. And then here is full art Welder. Pretty good. And then here is the. Is this? I don't know. Here's like the ultra. I think it's called ultra rare. I don't know. Or rainbow rare. Trigger some people. There's Venomoth. I'm not too big on these because you just can't see anything. It's like a big block of white. I'm just kind of clicking and showing them. If you guys want to pause the video and take a look, or you can go to PokeBeach, the fantastic website that I'm looking at this on. What's that? And we got Persian. All right, now here is the trainers, the gold rare trainers. Here is electromagnetic radar. Fire crystal. Fire crystal looks pretty dope. Metal core barrier. And we have Pokegear. And then we have rainbow, or not rainbow, Jesus. Gold triple acceleration energy. Pretty cool looking. So yeah, all in all, I think this set's really cool. I like the cards in it. Unfortunately, some of them are coming out when fire Pokemon are going to be huge. I'm really hoping that Venomoth can at least have a showing because I think Venomoth's actually a pretty dope card. I like it. It just unfortunately has that big fire weakness, and then of course there's some other stuff in here that I think is really cool. I'm gonna try to get some cards from this set because I don't really have anything ready to go for post rotation. So again, I'm gonna plug my Patreon if you'd like to help me out there, or my GoFundMe. You can definitely do that. But yeah, so that's the set, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this set. I personally think it's actually going to be a pretty big game changer, especially with the rotation coming. I think it would have been a big game changer even without the rotation coming. So yeah, that is going to do it for me, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And make sure to check out all the links down in the description below. Take care. I love you guys. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out.